Hi, you're listening to Immigrant Women Talk podcast, and I'm your host, Galina Bilaeva. This is the place for you to get inspired by stories of immigrant women, to learn about nonprofits that serve immigrant communities, and to listen to entrepreneurs who work with women in developing countries. Subscribe to this podcast and get more inspiration and resources at immigrantwomentalk.com and galinabilaeva.com. Hi, I'm Galina Bilaeva, and today I'm going to talk about becoming a more confident woman, especially when you're an immigrant woman. I'm going to share with you 3 steps that will help you discover your potential. And trust me, no matter where you're from, no matter what your native language is, no matter how old you are, you have a huge potential. So here are 3 steps that will help you discover your potential. Step 1. Believe that your ethnicity is your power. The fact that you come from somewhere else, that you're different, gives you an incredible advantage. The ability to look at the same things with a new perspective. I used to think that somehow my name, my ethnicity, my nationality would scare people off. I thought they would reply to my emails or pay attention to me, and it turned out I was completely wrong. And there are always people interested in your cultural background. It actually adds a special flavor to whatever you do. And now, when the world becomes more and more globalized, it's so common to meet people from the US, Canada, who come from totally different ethnic backgrounds. If English is not your native language, there is no problem with that. There are a lot of immigrants from all over the world who don't speak perfect English, and that comes with practice, which is really a lifelong process. You're going to make mistakes no matter how long you've been studying English, so there is really no reason to worry about that. Besides, language is just a communication tool. Your ideas are actually a lot more important. Even if you're a non-native English speaker, you can become a famous business person, a scientist. You can win a Nobel Prize. When I started doing the interviews with immigrant women, nonprofit leaders, and social entrepreneurs, I also realized that everybody's afraid of public speaking. So the fear that I had was not about English. It was just the fear of public speaking that everybody experiences. If you're interested in learning English, you can check out my video How to Learn English Faster at galinabilaeva.com. Step number 2. Start loving your natural talents and money. How do you feel about money? Have you noticed that some people think that the desire to have money when you're a woman doesn't describe you as a good person? How about if you look at money as something you get for providing value to the world? And you can use money to provide even more value to the world. When I was a student, I remember my teacher asking us, will you choose a low-paid job that you love or a very well-paid job that you don't like at all? As if having it all is not an option. There is pressure on women to choose the career that others would approve of. I was even told that I had to choose between having a career or a family, because it would be impossible to do both for some reason. This is so false, and I've seen women doing it all and having it all. It's not easy, but it is possible. In fact, you can listen to the interviews with immigrant women on my website to get inspired by their success. Also, do you know what your natural talents are? I was taught to believe that really smart people are in finances, engineering, science, and creatives are not really appreciated by society. Well, this is changing too. First of all, every year more and more women start companies in creative fields. Women also focus more on helping others. That's the core of their business. And one of the most amazing things, more women hire women and invest in companies started by women. We now know that women can make money and change the world. If you're a woman in science, technology, or finances, there is also good news for you. There are groups of women who support each other in these fields. Step number 3, be in charge. I'm talking about taking responsibility for your life, your decisions, and the consequences. And I think it comes with being able to trust yourself. I had a difficult case of not trusting myself, so I just wanted to ask everyone's opinion on what I should do. When I finally took responsibility for my life and moved out from my parents, it was just like a miracle. I started believing in myself, and even when I made bad decisions, it still felt good because they were mine. It is hard, but being independent while making your decisions means that you stay true to who you are, to your identity, and to what you believe in. That's the most empowering thing I've ever experienced. I think taking full control of your finances is one of the best ways to feel in charge of your life. Women are traditionally taught to believe that we're not good at managing money, so oftentimes we just let others deal with it. And that leads to relying on somebody else, which limits your freedom so much and makes you dependent on another person while making your decisions. So how can you take control of your financial situation? Well, you can have your own savings account. It means taking control of your life in many other ways, not just financial. You become an independent thinker. You learn to set goals for what you really want to have in your life, and you learn how to plan and achieve it by yourself. Having money saved up makes you feel more secure and emotionally independent. It also gives you the feeling of abundance. Did you like these 3 steps that will help you discover your potential? Well, I have a surprise for you. I have another tip that helped me so much in my life. Appreciate yourself and your work. Be kind to yourself. Acknowledge yourself. Celebrate even the smallest accomplishments of yours. It will motivate you to achieve more. Praise yourself for the things that you have accomplished today. Focus on your strengths rather than think about what you are not good at. Loving yourself and your work is a lot more motivating than beating yourself up for something you failed at. My grandma and teachers would motivate me with criticism and comparison to others. That way I learned to be pretty harsh on myself. But I also became harsh on others because of that. I think that really hurt my relationships. Not that many people really believe in praising kids. They are afraid that praise would spoil them and they would only perform well under the pressure of failure. Well, criticism, even for your own good, is not motivating. Encouragement works so much better. Don't listen to critics. Listen to thoughtful advice of believers and people who support and guide you instead of criticizing you. Being around positive, respectful women will teach you to be respectful of yourself and others. You can find these amazing women in our community of inspirational immigrant women at galinabilaeva.com. I'm Galina. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next time. Thank you for listening to Immigrant Women Talk podcast. I would love to get to know you, so come over to immigrantwomentalk.com and leave a comment. Let me know about your challenges, and I will find an expert who will offer a solution. If you would like to join the community of immigrant women, connect with a guest or with me, go to immigrantwomentalk.com. I'm Galina Bilaeva, and I will talk to you next time.